The How Dare You podcast is brought to you by the Vegas Beer Guys and the Sounds and Cinema podcast.
The How Dare You podcast contains explicit language. You have been forewarned. Hello and welcome to the How Dare You podcast. Go fuck yourself.
No, really, we want you to listen, but we also want you to go fuck yourself as well.
I get you every time with that one.
It's just, I just enjoy it. Like, if somebody told me to go fuck myself the way you did, I'd laugh. Even if they were serious, I'd fucking laugh.
That's my special gift.
Yeah.
All right. Hello and welcome to a How Dare You Everything sequel crossover event, the Mannequin Edition. Shantz here of the How Dare You Awards. Joining me, both hosts. Lady Chu, say hello.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm pretty super. I'm excited to talk about these movies.
As you should be.
These have been on the list for a long time.
Yeah, you can thank me later. Also joining us, of course, is Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions. Hello, Tom.
I've seen the poster. That's now my response to any movie I've not seen that I'm supposed to have seen.
Do you even know what he's talking about, Chu?
Is that shit I say?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always the movie poster. That's all I need to know. Movie poster. Got it.
We were talking, I said, do you even know who Monty Python is? And your response was, I've seen the poster.
Yeah. The movie poster.
I love that. That's my stock response now. For
There's
any
no
abstract
fucking
concept
poster.
Any abstract concept I've not heard of, I just say I've seen the poster.
You know, the little thumbnail on IMDb. That's the movie poster, as far as I'm concerned. That's all I need to know.
That's why I tune in. It's, Mike, you're my friend and my podcasting partner, but I keep listening to the How Dare You podcast for the wit and wisdom of Lady Chu.
Me too. Me too.
God, Tom, stop making me blush. It is those compliments are undeserved, but thank you.
No, they're completely deserved. I was talking to a friend the other day. I was like, you don't understand. She's not a performer. She's the best thing on the podcast.
Oh, I know. I heard that voicemail she left on... The Chu you left on Robin Hood, one of the Robin Hood, or all of the Robin Hood movies. It covered a lot of ground. And I was like, there's no way you can perform this.
No.
This is...
That's just her.
That's
this
just
is
me.
So sustained.
I was upset and confused.
That's amazing.
And I was delighted.
Well, I've been wanting to talk about at least one of these movies for quite some time, and I'm glad we could do a crossover event. We are talking about Mannequin, and then, of course, in our next episode, because we'll do them sequentially, Chu, we'll do Mannequin 2.
You never know. Yeah, well, spoiler alert, we didn't do the Robin Hoods in order. We just pretended like we did. Okay.
That's true.
So,
interesting.
I feel like that was a fair question.
What was... Do you want to say what the question was for those
oh, well, I mean, my original question was, are we going to do 2 or 1 first?
Yeah.
Because we've done weirder things. Like the Robin Hood. I don't even remember which one we started with.
That's true.
But it was...
That's true. I have to give it to you.
Well, speaking of weirder things, what do we call Mannequin 2? Because...
Yeah. Because it's not Mannequin 2.
No,
in the movie, it's Mannequin on the Move.
Mannequin on the Move
on a
is
few
the title
of, the
that movie.
On some of the posters,
except on posters.
2. Well, not all the posters.
That's true.
Yeah, it was just another Mannequin movie. That's what they should have called it. Just another Mannequin movie.
Another Mannequin could have joined our another series. Also, it begs the question, Is that a fucking mannequin?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think you get like wooden mannequins like that.
That's a sex doll.
Yeah.
That's no. It's not a
I
mannequin.
hadn't even thought of that.
That's a doll you want to fuck.
And now I can't unthink it.
It's a DILF.
Oh.
Solid. That was good.
They're both
That's a
dilfs.
doll I'd like to fuck.
They're
I was
both
thinking
dilfs.
dummy. Either way.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The dummy is used in both movies extensively.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do some, because we're doing this crossover event, so let's add something from each of the podcasts. For starters, let's rank these two movies. So, Lady Chu, which of these two movies is the better movie? Don't fuck it up.
That's not like the easiest question because like we just said,
It is the
they're
easiest
different
question.
movies that just happen to have mannequins in them. You know?
Well, mannequin and title.
Yeah. So, friend of the podcast, Erica Flora, her favorite all-time movie is Mannequin 2,
Jesus Christ.
which is why I initially brought this up in the past was because like you won't believe what, Erica's favorite movie is Mannequin 2 of all things. I was not biased towards my grading of these movies, but I think I have to go Mannequin 2 is slightly marginally better than Mannequin?
What?
I don't know. I said all of that with a question. I don't know.
Wow.
I might change
I'm
my
having
mind in
the
an
best
hour. I
time.
don't know.
I'm having the best time. This is like listening to the show and being on the show
I'm
at
so
the same
fucking
time.
mad right now.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I don't feel confident in my answer. Maybe you
I
guys can change my
absolutely-
mind.
I absolutely believe that you have a friend whose favorite movie is Mannequin 2.
You got it wrong, Chu.
Well,
Damn
I
it.
don't disagree with you. I don't
But for
entirely
good
agree with
reasons,
you, though.
Mike. Let's not. Like, the reasoning is sound. That's the kind of shit we say on the Everything sequel. They're different. Don't judge these movies the same.
Yeah.
Judge them in their own right.
Well, Tom, what did you think?
I have.
You think Mannequin is better?
No.
So
Yeah, I think
amazing.
Mannequin.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Mannequin is better. Obviously, it's a better movie. But I mean, anyone could see that, apart from seemingly you, but and Erica. But it's I like the reasoning. I feel like that's something we should approve of, Mike, because of what we do every week on Everything sequel.
I don't like to give her any credit for anything ever.
I get maybe like once a month, like one small little piece of credit, a half credit for something.
In a recent episode, I said I promised not to get mad at you because she had remembered something, and then immediately got mad at her for something.
Yeah, I'll change that real quick. The day is young.
You hadn't seen. This is not my fault. You hadn't seen A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's ridiculous.
No. I haven't.
But
Well,
I'm
that's gonna
excited.
be a
I'm
teachable
excited
moment.
to hear what it is about the Mannequin sequel
Yeah.
that is so standout. Because I think I could be convinced. I tell you now, I could be convinced
Ooh,
All right.
okay.
that it's better than I think it is. Not that it's a better movie than Mannequin.
No.
Well, let's do let's do good bad. So for both of you, Tom, is Mannequin a good movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes really good. Sometimes very 1987, but often really good.
Sometimes frighteningly 1987, but it's a
Yeah.
good movie. What say you, Chu?
Yeah. It's not gonna stand alone with, like good 80s movies like Breakfast Club or I don't know why I'm thinking of Molly Ringwald movies, but like Pretty in Pink or 16
Because
Candles,
that's
whatever.
what the 80s was full of.
Yeah.
Almost exclusively.
Yeah. It was a good movie. I mean, it's Banana fucking Sandwich. A white girl is pretending to be Egyptian. So that's fascinating.
It
makes sense.
God,
Okay, sure.
I'd like to know why that's the beginning of the movie.
Like, does it matter?
Doesn't have to. He
It
could
doesn't
just
have to, 'cause
sculpt her. He could just make the mannequin, and his artistry could bring her to life. She doesn't have to be Egyptian.
Of all things.
Well, this is
And it doesn't even come into play later on in the movie. Not really.
Ever.
once I'd seen the whole movie, I started to think that maybe this was two other movies put together. Like that they had two scripts.
Yeah.
One was a horror movie about mannequins. The other was a movie about a man falling in love with a prostitute. And basically, they combined the two and made a romantic comedy out of it.
See, I thought of it as they shot about 5 minutes of a movie they thought they were going to make that involved Egypt. And then somebody said, "This is stupid. Let's just start over." And they said, "Well, no, we shot that already. We'll keep that. And we'll just change the rest of the movie."
I feel like the whole concept of these movies is from Jenkins. There's no other... Who comes up with this shit?
Right.
Jenkins, you've done it again.
Yeah. It's interesting.
On at least one of them, he was right. So, Mannequin 2, good or bad?
I think Mannequin 2, everyone who worked on that movie is a Jenkins.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Totally.
I think it's historically known that basically some kind of Jenkins took over the series.
Yeah. It's
Can't
not a
be
good
denied.
movie.
It's not good.
It's not a
But
good
you like
movie.
it better than Mannequin,
Well, I
which
said
you're
it-
saying is almost
Well,
a
I'm
good
not
movie.
sure. I don't know. Like, I said that I went into that movie without bias, but maybe I unintentionally did. I don't know. It's just completely fucking different. And I think that's what's throwing me. I'm trying to compare an apple and an orange that wants to be an apple. So I just don't know.
An orange disguised as
Welcome
an
to
apple.
the Everything Sequel podcast. This is our dilemma every single
Every
week.
fucking day.
Ugh.
Oh, man. All right, well, let's start with Mannequin. 1987, directed by Michael Gottlieb. Chu, do you recognize that last name? What am I
Sure.
saying?
Is that what you want me to say? Yeah. Uh-huh. Sure do.
He's the brother of Carl Gottlieb, writer of Jaws.
Okay, why do you ask these questions? You know I don't fucking know.
Mike,
But
that's
you should.
ridiculous. Even I didn't know that. That's cruel.
I'm starting to realize
No,
having
now
Tom
you're like-
here ruins
You're
my
bullying
agenda.
by association. That's
Do you know
it's
who
not,
Carl
not
is?
even a name you haven't heard of. It's someone's brother you haven't
Yeah,
heard.
we're like second cousin twice removed. Like, no one cares.
All right, fine. I admit it. I might have gone too far.
Too far.
Michael Gottlieb, director of Mannequin. He's also directed A Kid in King Arthur's Court, Mr. Nanny, starring
Hulk Hogan.
one wrestler we happen to know, Tom, and
That's
know
right.
well by the name of Hulk Hogan.
We've done 2 movies starring Hulk Hogan.
Correct.
Wow. I don't think I've
Yeah.
seen any movies.
Chu
with
got
Hulk
pretty
Hogan.
impressed.
Gremlins 2, The New Batch, and Rocky 3.
I've never seen anything past the first Rocky, and definitely haven't seen the Gremlins because they're scary.
You might be okay with Gremlins 2, The New Batch. Scary's not the first word I think of when I think about that movie.
Okay.
You
Exactly.
want to talk about banana sandwiches? That's a banana sandwich with a rocket that launches itself into your mouth and fires banana out of your ear.
He also directed a little movie called The Shrimp on the Barbie, but
No, he didn't. You made
yes,
that
he
up.
did.
You made that up. There's
But
no movie-
strangely
there's
enough,
no
that movie
called
stars
Shrimp on the
Cheech
Barbie.
Marin.
There's no movie called The Shrimp on the Barbie. I
But he
require
directed it.
documentation, sir.
He directed it, Tom. This might make more sense now. He directed it under the name Alan Smithy,
Oh.
which,
Yikes.
Chu, I'm sure you don't know or understand the idea behind Alan Smithy, correct?
Well, it obviously sounds made up because your last name is Smithy, supposedly. Oh, no.
You want to tell her, Tom?
Well, traditionally, if you want to take your name off, if you're a director who hates the movie you've made and you want to take your name off it, you replace it with the name Alan Smithy, so everyone knows that you took your name off, and that it's going to be a bad movie. It's basically
Garbage.
like a red flag kind of. It's the red flag name in Hollywood.
I mean,
it's a movie with Cheech Marin and
someone's fucking with you, Mike. I don't
No.
know what website.
I don't know
you're on.
Emma Samms, but it has Emma Samms, and the tagline is "She's an ice cool heiress. He's hot to trot. It's desire down under."
It sounds like Mannequin in Australia, basically.
Fucking amazing. All right. So, let's see. Mannequin, 20% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Whoa!
Criminally low.
Criminally low.
People hated this movie.
I gotta say, I remember. I keep talking on podcasts about this Leonard Maltin's movie guide I had as a kid.
Yeah.
I do remember that he listed it as a bomb, which was like his lowest rating. It was just the word bomb in all caps. And he didn't do that so I'd never seen the movie before, and I always sort of thought that it was something I should give a pass because, that was my bias, was the Leonard Maltin bomb.
Well, and I was looking up because
I can't understand why anyone would hate the movie so much.
Exactly. Roger Ebert gave it a half a star.
oh,
A half a star.
it deserves more than half a star, but
Yeah.
I understand.
It's a solid 2-star movie.
Yeah.
I wonder if, because it was like 87, like all the 80s stuff in it had played out so much by that point that critics were just tired of the same old, because it has a lot of that, of things you get in 80s movies in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Roger
So maybe
Ebert,
it was just too late in the decade for it to
Roger Ebert
feel
wrote a
fresh and
line.
interesting.
Roger Ebert wrote a line that I think is as funny as anything in the movie. He said, Message Taylor makes the best of the gay window dresser who is an anthology of stereotypes. And he's not wrong about that.
He's not wrong about that, but he sort of misses the point.
Oh, yeah. So, budget of $6 million this movie, an opening weekend of $6 million, in the USA and the world, $42.7 million. This is a hit.
It's a success.
An absolute hit. So I think, well, let's talk, what would you nominate this for as a How Dare You award? Most ridiculous concept.
Yeah. Absolutely. Movie I at least wanted to see, personally.
What?
Not in general in forever, but I wouldn't be interested in seeing this movie.
Well, that's borne out by what the critics said, right?
But it's not borne out by money, though. Normally, a movie's least wanted to see means America didn't want to see, which is going to happen in our next film. This movie made $42.7 million and greenlit a sequel.
Of sorts.
So, no.
Of sorts! We're going to add that to our categories. It's a sequel of sorts. Yeah, it's not any kind of sequel I've heard of
no
before.
Oscar winners, tell you that much.
No.
So I'm putting it firmly into most ridiculous concept.
Porno title? I mean, it's a little bit on the nose, but
right?
Yeah.
You know what you're getting.
I mean, she does appear nude as a mannequin at the beginning of this movie.
Yeah, her tits are all over the place. They're just manhandling her torso.
Yeah.
That's a person.
He puts her on top of a dick at the beginning of this movie.
Yeah. That's
wrong sex.
That's the kind of horror movie part.
The strange part about that was he looked down 3 times before he realized there was a penis on that mannequin. Or I suppose they don't put penises on mannequins. I guess it's just a little Ken action.
Just Ken doll.
So in that case, how would you know?
There's a penis on those German guys in the next movie, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I'd rather have seen the penis on the mannequin than theirs.
Well, Lady Chu, would you like to describe the plot for the audience of this fucking batshit movie?
Ooh. Okay. I never prepare for any of this. Every single episode, I don't prepare for nothing. Not a damn thing. Okay.
That comes through.
Yeah. I don't really need to say that. I think I'm amazed every week. I'm like, wow, I didn't prepare. Fucking shit. Okay, so 1,000 years ago, was that what it was? That was consistent. 1,000 years ago, Kim Cattrall is an Egyptian. She's an Egyptian girl. I don't think she's an Egyptian princess. She asked the gods to, I don't know. I don't fucking remember. She wants like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. Send me away. Let me find somebody fucking cool. Okay, cool. So 1,000 years later, the gods are like, hey, we got the guy. He does windows at a department store. Banging. Awesome. So he's a sculptor. Evidently he sculpts mannequins. Fascinating, by the way. Is that a job? I don't know. I don't want that job.
You can at least turn out 3 a month. Or every couple months. I forget.
That's not a lot.
Yeah, you're supposed to do like 5 a week.
Yeah. So he starts to fall in love. Not fall in love. I would say fall in lust with his sculpture. A little narcissistic, but okay. And then she comes to life. And he's the only one that can see her. And so anybody else walks into the room, boom, mannequin again. And she's like, I've been waiting for you for forever. Bitch, how? You just, what? Okay, whatever. I'll take it. So they create fucking window shit for his job, and he takes credit, but really she's doing most of the work, which I think is bullshit.
That's true.
And then
completely.
It is bullshit.
Yeah, bad things happen. I think that's about it. You don't really need to know anything else. That's it. Bad things happen.
That's great. Oh.
All I would add is that there's nothing that a young white man in the 80s can't do that doesn't result in a promotion.
Yes.
He gets like promoted from basically like a basement job to executive. Yeah. And every time it's because he's fucked up. Every time he's fucked up, and everyone assumes that because he's white and young and it's the 1980s that he's that he needs to be fast tracked to the top.
Yeah.
He is promoted in the same way Mr. Burns promotes executive vice presidents. I just saw the most amazing dog, Smithers.
Yeah.
Promote that dog. All right, well, let's get down to brass tacks, friends. I'm very excited to talk about grievances and positive points because there's just so many for both. What's your number, Lady Chu? Grievances. Let's talk grievances.
I have a low and conservative 27.
What?
I don't know. I did have a lot of both, like
That's
positive
crazy.
and grievance. 27. It deserved more.
Even I have more, and I love this movie.
What was yours?
39 grievances.
I think that's appropriate. Tom, what you got?
Well, if this was the Price is Right, you just beat me, Chu, because I got 28.
Oh.
How was it for you, Tom?
Sorry?
How was it for you changing to this format, writing down grievances and positive points?
It was. I really struggled with it. I thought you had the easier job. Whenever I've listened to this podcast, I thought, oh, that sounds nice. Just saying what you like and you don't like, and counting it up, and not having to like think about, made up terminology like sequel inversion and shit like that we do. But actually, the reverse is true. It's like I feel like I'm back. Like in college, I used to do quantitative data research, and that's what I feel like I'm doing. It's like, oh, I got to count up my grievances and positive points. Let's see if there's any shared between them. I've got to calculate that number, so it's. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is like a job. But just fascinating. Like it's to sort of do it that way instead of chronologically. Like you see the movie in a whole different way, and like you say, you can really like a movie and still have a ton of grievances against it. That's what I realized. Like they're not mutually exclusive. That you can have a lot of problems with a movie and still leave thinking, God, I really like that.
Yep. I was so surprised at how many grievances I had. And then I thought that there would be a lot of overlap. That I was sure that half of my positive points were also grievances, and then I looked at it and it's not. Like there's like 5,
Wow,
6, 7 maybe. I have, I'll just let my cat out of the bag now because I think I'm gonna maybe it won't come as a shock at this point, but positive points, 42.
Oh my God. What?
is that high?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might be the most positive points ever.
Oh God.
I fucking loved this movie.
Hold the phone. Hold my beer.
Oh my God! Did you outbid me?
Yeah. So let me. I have a data question for you.
Yeah.
When you when you have both positive points and grievances, does that count towards the overall total of the individual categories?
Yes.
Okay, then I got 50.
Am I in the fucking Twilight Zone? What is happening?
Yes, this is the worst ever episode of the Twilight Zone. The one they did never even add.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone, by the way, comes up in this movie.
What do you mean, Rod? This is just a lot of rambling about sequels and grievances. Yeah.
All right, Chu. How many positive
I guess
points?
I took to this task with a little too much enthusiasm.
No, you
I'm like the guy. It's like my first day, and I'm trying too hard to impress.
You are on the right track.
Yeah,
I tell you.
No, Tom, I think you were probably on point because the fact that Chance had 42 and you had 50, I'm definitely the odd one out here. I missed something because I only have 12.
Whoa!
That's a lot for you, though.
It is a lot because I'm a nitpicker.
Yeah.
I'm a nitpicker.
There's so much shit in this movie that I love. Small things. No thanks are necessary, switcher.
Was that a Hollywood? Hollywood line?
No, that's James Spader.
Oh.
As he's walking out the door, he says he saved his job while he was trying to fire him.
If you counted everything that certain characters say as one, I would probably have about 12 positive points as well. Well, I've got about 15, 20 Hollywood things that Hollywood does, things that James Spader does, things that Estelle Getty does. So if that all counts as one, it would probably be lower. But I counted them all separately.
Yeah, I count them all separately as well.
Yeah. I just didn't, I probably would have had more positive points, but I just didn't feel like taking notes.
Jesus criminy. Do you see what I have to put up with?
I did have
I took notes. I just didn't want to write. I just didn't want to write anymore. It was a long day, and I had to finish it with motherfucking Mannequin. So,
while I was watching the movie, I did want to text Chance like 3 or 4 times to ask him if this was a teachable moment or not.
Okay, Tom, that's too fucking far.
That is too far.
That's too far.
And that's why I ultimately didn't do it because then the scene would come on and I'd be like, oh no, this is definitely a regular movie. But other times I was so enamored I deluded myself into thinking it might be a teachable moment.
Oh, I'm so happy right now. I tell you what, why don't we take a break and then we'll come back and we'll dive deeper into Mannequin from 1987. How about that?
Party.
All right. Right after this, everyone.
Let's get in that newspaper. I like to think I know something about beer.
But nowadays, even I get overwhelmed when confronted by the exhaustive selection of craft beers they have at bars, breweries, and even grocery stores. Back in the day you had one, maybe two craft beers to choose from, and if you were confused, you ordered a Guinness. But in beerstinations like San Diego, the craft beer options lately are in double, sometimes even triple digits. So what's a beer drinker to do? You need what I need. The Vegas Beer Guys. Your beer of choice should be a perfect blend of malt and hops. And so a live show about beer needs that same balance. And the Vegas Beer Guys matches beer expert Dan Aker with self-proclaimed beer novice Stephen J. Weiss. The results are eminently drinkable. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram. They'll try new beers, they'll tell you about beer. Think of them as your beer Sherpas guiding you up a foamy-headed mountain to reach the peak of your pint. God, I need a beer.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Lady Chu and Tom and I are here discussing Mannequin from 1987, directed by Carl Gottlieb's brother. By the way, this is an Oscar-nominated film.
No.
Yes.
I mean, I like it, but for what?
What do you think?
I have no idea. Was it like
Editing?
a mall? Was best mall? I don't know. Best
It's not
mall
even a
in
mall.
in
It's just
in a
one
1987
department store.
movie.
It is
Editing.
best song. This movie gave us Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now.
That won an Oscar?
Didn't win. It was nominated.
Oh, it was nominated. Okay,
Yeah.
What?
it's the same as winning, though, isn't
No.
it? 'Cause
Great song, Chu. What's the matter with you? It's not your techno babble, but it's great.
This song was made specifically for Mannequin?
Apparently Mannequin 2 as well. I was so surprised to hear that song again at the end of the credits.
That is fascinating.
Yes.
Did not know
yeah,
that.
that's the element of continuity between the two movies.
Yep.
Just this
It's
one
just
thing.
that,
Just
just that
that.
in Hollywood, and that's it.
All right, so where to start? We know that she was Egyptian and then she ended up being sculpted by him, and she used to date Christopher Columbus.
Not something you bring up. That's not a
That's not a
No.
brag.
no.
I dated history's greatest serial killer. I guess maybe it is something that you bring up in a movie like this.
Right.
That, like, begins with a man, like, surrounded by the arms of, like, naked women.
Well, and I also noticed, Tom, that Andrew McCarthy is singing the song that we as the audience are hearing, but there's no, like, establishing shot of, didn't we do something recently where you said, I can't figure out if the characters are listening to this song in the movie? I thought of you immediately when
Oh,
Andrew
right.
McCarthy was singing.
That sounds like something I'd say. I actually have the same note about Mannequin and/or Mannequin 2 on the move. There's a moment in that where I actually asked, "Where is the music coming from?"
Right.
So I guess it's one of my little peccadillos.
So the whole front half of this movie, not front half, but the whole, like, half of the first act is just him getting fired from jobs.
Yeah.
Via montage, because
Via-
it's the
yes.
80s.
Oh, love a montage.
Right?
Wasn't it great? Yeah.
This movie has one of the all-time best montages as far as I'm concerned.
2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Plenty.
But it comes later. But
I have that as both a grievance and a positive point that the montages are good, but there's a lot of them.
Right. Yes, exactly. Me too. That was one of my doubles. I think it's funny that this movie is sort of as benign as it is. Not a lot of cursing. Like, It feels very PG, and yet there's a ton of sexual harassment and naked mannequin boobs.
It's the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
It's so 80s.
It's it feels like a PG movie from the 80s. I'd agree with that. But that's a different. That's all relative. Because yeah, it's like soft porn at times.
Yeah. Like they fucked on all those mink coats. Like you're fucking on dead animals. Isn't that? That's too far. Come on, guy. No.
There's a lot of DNA left on those coats.
Oh.
Fuck.
And that's like this. It's like the sex feels very sexy.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like like even though as it goes to what you're saying, Mike, about it feels very on the surface it feels very chaste, but when you see sex in the movie, you recognize it as sex, even though they're covering up and you don't see any, any genitals or like even real nudity. Or even partial nudity. And I looked.
He's straight up fucking that mannequin.
Yeah. But just every time they were in the sex scene together, it was like, yeah, they just boned, and it's like, and I could tell that, even though I wasn't being shown it.
Yeah, even like the hammock scene, like you were getting shadows, right. So you can basically see them, but like
right.
Also you fucked in a hammock, which is basically a sex swing, which is a one step closer to porn. So Mannequin is porn.
Oh, that's great.
Also, how'd you fuck in that hammock? That was a grievance. It closes you up like a fucking cocoon. That's not gonna work.
Well, here's
it's gonna be awkward. It's one of those things they do in movies that never make sense in real life. People fucking in a hammock. People fucking on the beach.
Yeah.
Sex in a bath.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you tried having sex in a bath? It's like putting a whale in a bathtub. So much sloshing of water. Like, fuck, I don't want to clean that up. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Put some towels down in case we fuck. You want to take a bath together, honey? Yeah, put some towels down, though, in case we fuck.
It's like rough seas. It's just like whoosh, all this wave. It's no go. Absolutely not.
I gotta say though, Andrew McCarthy, when you see him dance, you think he's probably a pretty good lover. Because he moves so well, and you don't think of him like if just based on his acting and his character, you wouldn't necessarily think he's a good lover. But when I saw him dance, I thought maybe.
Nice.
I'll tell you what I thought in 1987 when I saw Andrew McCarthy
At the theater.
Oh, of course. In the theater.
Redundant part.
Probably more than once.
What?
First thing I always thought was, I want those fucking bowling shoes. I still want bowling shoes based on this movie. Half red, half green, little number on the back, dancing down the street.
All right.
Don't you shake your head at me, Chu. Oh, what a great look.
It's a
later
look.
In the movie,
I don't know if it's great. It's
later in the
look.
movie. He's wearing shitty Nike high tops that look 20 years old, and I thought, get those things off your feet. Put on your bowling shoes. So I don't even know where to go next. I mean, narratively, he gets fired from 1,000 jobs, and then he meets Estelle Getty. I love their mute cute.
Oh fuck, that's right.
Involves his ass getting electrocuted.
That was a grievance.
She's so funny. I mean, she's not in this movie much, but she's so funny, and I love seeing that Andrew McCarthy was really laughing at her. Like, when his character's supposed to laugh, or maybe the character wasn't supposed to laugh, but you can tell he's really laughing at her.
Yeah.
Because her entrance is so thoroughly funny.
She was a huge positive point.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the whole movie. So, I mean, there are so many performances. I think James Spader.
Yeah.
I think I said to you, Chu, you've never seen James Spader like this.
No.
He disappears into that smarmy asshole, and he is sublime.
Smarmy. That is exactly that. Smarmy.
It's great.
No thanks
The
are
hair,
necessary,
the glasses,
switcher.
The hair, the glasses, the little cigarillo.
Did you notice at the end of the movie when they're chasing everyone that at one point he like licks his own hand and starts fixing his hair?
He's the worst.
That's amazing.
There's a lot of toxic men in this movie, but he's the only man in the movie that I think is legitimately like chemically toxic.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, I mean, what do you make of the 1987 of it all?
You might need to be more specific.
There's a lot of homophobia. There's a lot of toxic masculinity. There's a lot of sexual harassment.
Yeah.
What's his name? Christopher Marr, who plays Armand, who's always trying to get Roxy to have sex with him.
Yeah, he's a straight up workplace predator.
Oh,
He's a complete, total workplace predator, all of which is reprehensible. But the actor himself, like, makes him very funny.
I know.
When she agrees to have sex with him, and he's trying to start the car, and he's very shocked and keeps looking at her. I rewound it. I had to watch it again because I thought he was so funny in that moment.
Oh, yeah,
There's
whenever he appeared in the movie, he was both a grievance and a positive point.
Yeah,
Because-
exactly.
Because, like, it's as horrific to watch as the real life version of that guy, but you're mining it for comedy, and no one is rejecting it enough for it to be okay. Like, no
Right.
one, like,
Yeah.
at the point at which he actually, you know, even temporarily gets the girl, that's gone too far,
Right.
right? You know,
yeah.
this guy should be like, the only way in which this guy could justifiably be in this movie is that every time he appears, he gets kicked in the balls and, like, thrown out of a window in every scene.
Yeah.
That's, like, the only way you can have this guy in the movie.
Yeah, there's just so many HR problems with some of these characters.
Yes.
Just an HR red flag.
Yeah.
G.W.
like-
Bailey straight up attacks Andrew McCarthy
Mm.
at one point. Although I think G.W. Bailey, by the way, is hysterical in this movie.
Yeah,
Is that the security guard?
yeah.
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 He's a positive
Hated
point
him.
for me.
You hated the character, right?
Well, yeah.
I
don't
gotta-
hate him personally because I don't know him.
I like that
But did you-
I like that he was like, it was, again, like, the workplace predator reads as a workplace predator and the bigot reads as a bigot.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we never get to enjoy.
He's even called a bigot by Andrew
Yeah.
McCarthy.
It's kind of calling it out for exactly what it is, which for 1987 is not a guarantee.
Right. Hang on. I have a quote here from G.W. Bailey. He said when they made this movie, all the actors thought it was just beyond silliness. They never thought it was going to see the light of day. They would do outrageous double takes over lines and said that they felt like they hadn't acted like this since high school. And the director, Michael Gottlieb, Carl Gottlieb's brother, he would say, "More! More! You're going in the right direction." They never thought it was going to be released. They never thought it would be a hit.
That's so, these guys must just, good actors are good actors, I think, because, like, I never feel that about the performances.
Exactly.
It's like
Right.
the characters, yeah, but I feel like the performances are actually really grounded for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
That's how I always felt about the movie. As ridiculous as James Spader and G.W. Bailey are, and Hollywood, all three of the performances are grounded. They are completely those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. If you had told me that about Mannequin 2,
Right.
yeah, of course.
that would make more
But
sense.
it doesn't make sense. I mean, they must just all be too good. Like, even when they think they're screwing up, they're doing good work.
My brain is quicker than a... Ugh. He's hit by the elevator doors. I also like it when he pulls his nightstick and he accidentally throws it 30 feet.
That was good.
Yeah.
It's all good shit.
I got nothing bad to say about that performance.
This movie does do some things that I wonder about. For instance, what is Andrew McCarthy's character doing with Roxy's character? How did they meet? How did they ever fall in love? Why are they together?
She sucks.
Right?
She doesn't suck at first, but then you see, you're like, oh, bitch. Nah, girl. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's I don't think they know what to do with that character. They definitely don't
weird.
want to give her a happy ending, that's for sure.
No.
They're happy to see her. They're happy to turn a blind eye to her while she gets molested by
Well, she's assaulted.
while she's sexually assaulted by a security guard, or sorry, the basement janitor.
And then the janitor plays the security guard in the next movie.
Oh,
It's
Andy.
the same actor
And the
playing
Gail
a different
from
character.
and Gail from Perfume kind of looks like Roxy.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
that's
so
true.
true. It's like the second movie is a malarial dream. You know, where it's like one of those kind of dreams where everyone you know is in it, but it's different people. Like you sort of recognize them, but they're in the wrong context.
We've done some tests. You have malaria. Oh, that explains that fucking dream I had. Oh, that's great. So at any rate, as Chu like summed up in her description of the plot, I love that so much of this movie has to do with making windows. I love that windows
Of all
are
the things you
focal
could like about this movie so far, bowling shoes and the process of making windows.
I swear to God, the windows.
This movie is about a mannequin
me-
that comes to life.
I think the windows are more ridiculous than the mannequin coming to life. I love that this store goes from nothing to everything in the span of a week because of great windows. I love that the other store, Illustra, loses 80% of its business because it doesn't have the windows. It's fantastic.
I mean, I can see
He's
where you're
in the
coming
newspaper.
from because, yeah. As ridiculous as the mannequin coming to life is, of all the things I could make a movie around, window displays is not at the top of the list.
Right?
None. It's not even on a list. I wouldn't even think of that. Who thought of that?
Yeah.
It was like Jenkins had a job before he got into the movie business. He's like, you know what job was really hard? Window displays. Shut up, Jenkins. It's so random. God.
I used to work in a sports store, Chu. I took great pride in my window displays. I made great window displays.
I believe that. I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manager type people would bring other manager type people to my store to see how it's fucking done.
Okay. And a competing store was going out of business because of your window displays?
And everyone at that other store was scheming against you.
Yep. Tried to kidnap my Angels jerseys. All right. What else? I mean, like what? Oh, by the way, my first grievance was the Olive Films. That
What was it?
logo, that was deeply unsettling.
I have a positive point about the logo. The Gladden Entertainment logo.
Oh, Gladden made me happy.
It made me feel like I was about to watch a corporate training video on sexual harassment.
It totally did.
It's the first day of work. You're in the break room. You got the coffee. You got the toasters. And someone
It was
turns-
also my
turns on a
first
TV
positive
turns
point
on a
for the
TV
next
set.
movie. Because I wrote, hey, Gladden's still alive. Still making movies. How about you, Chu? What did you like the most? What did you like the least?
I mean, this movie's so fucking weird at times, and yet uninteresting. Like, I did not care. You know what? I
am never not interested in this movie.
Okay, what I didn't like, or that I just wasn't interested in, was the, the business side of the movie, like the fact that
It's very
Alestra wanted to
involved.
buy.
Yes.
Wanted to buy the mall, or the store. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. I could, like, why are we trying to make this interesting? They took that boring thing and window displays, and we're like, let's make them fun. Why?
There's
That's
so
great.
much scheming in this movie.
Yeah.
So much scheming.
So much like business scheming.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's how you know you're in the 80s, by the way.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
This is how you make a comedy out of Wall Street.
Well, that's it. Like, I was nostalgic for that era of movie where the subplot is always two supporting characters scheming against the film's lead.
Mhm.
But I absolutely agree with Chu. It's like I don't need to know this much about these two businesses to enjoy the concept of this movie.
Things I really liked. I think I liked Hollywood. I think I enjoyed him. Loved the car. I thought it was just fantastically ridiculous.
The first time you see the car with the music barreling around the corner,
Loved.
to me, so great.
Positive point.
Positive point to the hilt.
Yeah.
It's fucking
And
great.
his license plate, bad girl. Get it, sis. I believe you. I believe it. Things I thought were cringy that I just wanted, I had secondhand embarrassment from, was when he got caught in intimate relations with the mannequin, and she's back at the mannequin. So people are like, "You're fucking this doll?
Right.
You're fucking the doll?"
When he's kissing her in the bathroom and Hollywood walks in.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he just like, okay, well, that is what it is. Which, if you're into what you're into,
Right.
and I'm not here to judge, but it was just cringy because, what was it? The security guard walks in on him and the mannequin's like on top of him.
Yeah.
I wanted to escape into my own skin. Just curl up in a little cocoon. I didn't want to be a part of that anymore.
Yeah. I also think about, in terms of both grievance and positive point, I really hate how much people in this store are referring to Hollywood as the fairy. I don't
Yeah.
like that. But
Big
I very
grievance.
much like how accepting Andrew McCarthy as Jonathan Switcher is of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Completely and totally.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He is. It's in. I mean, Hollywood Montrose, to give him his full name, is.
Yeah.
I think probably he's the highlight of both movies for me, and so many of my positive points are based around him and the performance.
Yeah.
And the dialogue.
When Switcher tries to grab him from the window and he yanks 3 times and Hollywood goes, "Oh!
Yeah.
Oh! Oh!"
But I like Roger Ebert. I feel like I should have this representational problem. He is like an anthology of stereotypes. If you
Right.
know, if you were like a bunch of guys going out to attack a gay black guy from the fashion industry, that's what you would draw to tell the other guys who to attack. But I don't know. They're just so. It's just like it's a movie that is generally and specifically with Hollywood so positive about the idea of difference.
Yeah.
Which, again, is not a given.
Because also Hollywood's so accepting of him. Honey, you go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the movie seems to enjoy those moments when he gets to turn the tables on the bigots. Like when he fires a hose at a bunch of
Right.
white security guards, which is, I don't know, it's like, you know, this is only like 20 years after the Civil Rights Act, you know, when stuff like that's still happening to black people in America, and you know, I such a powerful moment. Or see, I mean, I'm not gay or black, so I don't know, but so maybe I would have a problem with it if I was actually from that community, because it is incredibly stereotypical. It ticks all the boxes, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's always this positive when you get a character like that, and it's always affirming the character's right to be this way. I think that's to me that's the difference. I don't know.
No, I agree.
I
with
feel
you
like
completely.
I should have more of a problem than I do, but I also don't know what my problem would be necessarily. Apart from ticking all those boxes of
stereotypes.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about
the
this
movie as well. I mean, like, he's so much a part of everything that's happening. He's not just there to he's not just like the gay best friend, you know? Which is what that character sort of became in later movies, I think. Later romantic comedies. So it doesn't feel that way here.
Well, even in the next movie, he has to constantly leave the room that he should probably be in working.
Well, that's a whole other problem about how much he remembers
with
about
the
what happened
non-mannequin
here.
Yeah.
He's got a very short memory.
It's amazing. I love that. Well, I want to talk about let's talk about my favorite montage is it their first night when they're together? I love a montage that includes wardrobe changes in which the characters appear to be listening to one song together.
Yeah.
And yet clearly hours of time have been passed as they're in this department store. I love his sort of count on that. By the way, the organ he plays, it is the largest pipe organ in the world.
I think you're treating this movie like a catalog, Mike. I think you're just like flicking through, looking at stuff you like, circling items to buy later.
All I'm saying is that scene is fucking pure gold. Perfect song, perfect doings are transpiring. Everything they do is wonderful and hysterical.
Yeah,
I love it.
I enjoyed all of that.
Yeah, that's one of the moments of the movie that made me wonder how anyone could not like the movie, at least to some degree.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have a pretty hard heart not to enjoy that kind of a sequence.
Also, if you're in the movie theater in 1987 as a teenager,
we know you were.
I'm speaking about other people.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking to the audience right now. We know I was. But what a sexual awakening for Kim Cattrall. You could not possibly not fall in love with her watching this movie.
Yeah. She's stunning.
She's stunning, and she's like clearly a star.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just one of those breakout performances, and she just glides through the movie. It's like it all looks so effortless to her.
Right, exactly.
And she's playing a Egyptian something
peasant
reawakened in I don't think she's an Egyptian middle class woman. Because they make a big deal of the peasant girl in the next movie, and I don't think she's a peasant girl, but I don't think she's a. Yeah, I think you're right, Chu. I don't think she's a princess. I think they want to marry her off to a royalty.
What was it? A dung?
Yeah.
A dung
She's
salesman?
Kate Middleton. She's Egyptian Kate Middleton, basically.
Oh, love that.
That's perfect. Oh, that's good stuff.
But yeah. I mean, like you say, in every regard, you know. She just wows you throughout the movie.
All right, well, why don't we take a second break, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up. How about that?
Sounds good.
Deal?
Deal.
All right, everyone. Right after this. If you like podcasts like I do, boy, do I have a treat for you. You need to
Stay on target.
and check out the Sounds in Cinema podcast. Listen as your host, sound designer and music creator Tony Parham, and co-host, musical performer and sound lover Derek Hansen, D-Rock if you're nasty, and I am, discuss all things sound related to film, television, stage, and theatrical productions. They discuss environmental sounds, bioacoustics, dialogue, the nature of communication through sound, but as an added bonus, they drink beer and try to
Stay on target.
find them wherever you get your podcasts and listen to the pure mania of a man who can charitably be described as Doug, the dog from Up, and another man with a soothing and sultry voice trying to get that man to
Stay on target.
That's the Sounds in Cinema podcast. Tune in and listen to the sounds they are creating just for you. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Lady Chu, Tom, and myself are here trying to finish up Mannequin from 1987. The endlessly charming movie directed by Michael Gottlieb, brother of Carl Gottlieb, writer of Jaws. And Jaws 2 and Jaws 3, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure about 4. Maybe story. We're starting to get into a territory, Chu, where you and I are going to have to start watching some movies that Tom and I have already watched. Jaws
Only
3
if
and
they're
4.
good.
Jaws is 3 and 4.
No, they're never good.
Prime examples.
I'm just grateful to be on a podcast discussing a movie that doesn't have a number after it. Possibly twice. Depending on which way we go on Mannequin on the move.
Right.
Yeah.
This is like a holiday for me.
Oh, good times. So, I mean, as we said, within the narrative of the story, they are starting to make these windows together, and they're falling in love as they do it. Meanwhile, oh, I forgot the name of the store. What's their store? I believe it's the same store in the second movie, by the way.
Prince and Company? That's
Prince
what I
and
thought.
Company, yeah.
That's a
Prince and Company and Illustra. So Prince and Company is on the rise, Illustra is failing, and now Roxy's going to try to entice Switcher to come over. Then they're going to start taking photos of him with the mannequin to embarrass him, to blackmail him, and then they just decide to steal them.
There's no way you can embarrass a man in the 80s. A white man
No.
in the 80s. I mean, it's like everything he does leads to a promotion.
I will say
Gonna
also,
keep doing stupid shit because it's the way to climb the ladder.
I'll also say the rules seem a bit muddy. Not that I care, but the rules as to who can see her, when they can see her, how she can ride a motorcycle, when she can give somebody the bird while on the motorcycle.
Yeah, that was a grievance for me.
All of it seems suspect.
But like you, like I'm grateful. I think the movie is successful in making you not think about the inconsistency of the rules for a large part of it.
Yeah.
But then occasionally it just comes into focus, and you're like, wait, who can hear her? Like, who hears her talking?
Right.
Yeah, like in the bathroom with the ladies,
Yes.
so they can clearly
Yeah,
hear
exactly.
her.
Right. He's talking to the dummy.
Yeah.
So, but ultimately it doesn't matter. But we could have used some Gremlins type rules for this. Just a rules scene, maybe.
Well, that's the thing, is I think they thought they were doing it. She strikes her surfing pose as Hollywood walks around the corner, and Switcher is like, I want to introduce you. Oh, shit. And then Hollywood leaves and she comes back to life. And she said, oh, didn't I tell you? You're the only one that can see me. And that's all they do to explain the rules.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. Just sight. The rule is sight only, but anybody can hear me if I'm talking.
Behind a closed door.
Yeah.
And sometimes she goes half mannequin, where it's still she's still a person, which doesn't help.
No.
It doesn't help with the clarity of what's
Oh,
going
by
on.
the way, I read that one of the original mannequins they made was saved, at some point refurbished, and is still in a department store in Philadelphia as we speak, which made me so happy.
Wow.
There's some poor guy who works in that department store who stays there every night,
Just hoping.
still hoping it's gonna come to life. For like 20 years now.
Oh, there's a lot of great 80s clothes in this movie, especially the people at Illustra.
Mm-hmm.
Just terrible.
BJ Wirt.
I don't know which one that was.
He's the boss. He's the asshole boss
Illustra?
at Illustra. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. I didn't like him.
He's the toxic guy who's not the predator, as far as we know,
Yeah.
but probably
Right.
but probably is a predator on his spare
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
No, I feel like he's a predator because he went and like put his arm around Roxy and like squeezed her
you're
like this
right.
weird side hug. I was like, you know what, bro? Absolutely fucking not.
You're right.
You go fuck
actually.
yourself.
Yeah, you eat shit. I don't like it.
But it's uncommented on because it's 1987.
Yeah, so it's
Right.
fine. That's okay.
Interesting.
I like the
Uh,
restaurant guy who calls him the flambe terrorist.
See, that's one of those jokes that I think is so overworked in this period of 80s cinema. Like, some kind of slapstick involving a flambe. I don't know if flambe was big. It was like the new thing in restaurants or an old thing in restaurants that came back. I don't know.
You'll see it the next year in Scrooge.
Exactly,
as well.
that's what I'm thinking of. So I wonder whether that's like Roger Ebert and Leonard Maltin a roll in their eyes because it's like we saw it, we've seen this bit. But it's a great gag.
It's so funny.
Flambe and a toupee.
What were you gonna say, Chu?
I don't remember. Probably wasn't important.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, makes sense. Where are we at? I think we're towards the end. They steal the mannequin. There's a car chase.
First we have the car chase. Yeah.
I hate fucking car chases.
Really?
You get a 30-second car chase. I just I need 30 seconds, and anything past that, you need to stop.
A car chase can't be 30 seconds. That's
There's
absurd.
car chases in everything.
Did
Fuck.
you hate the car chase in Cobra?
I was just thinking that. It's like we're connected.
Because that's a solid car chase.
Well, if the,
Like, it is, but it's too long.
He's also putting a lot of people's lives in danger, including his own witness.
Over a fucking mannequin. Give it up.
it did
Plastic.
it did feel like we'd gone to like a real action movie for like a few minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, this is way too skillfully filmed for a dumb comedy. You know, it's
Yeah.
like you don't need to put as much effort into. I mean, I appreciate the effort, but it felt like a real action.
But too
scene.
much.
Yeah.
And then the car got stuck up, right?
Well, it hit a jump, Chew. But
Either way.
mhm.
but the alley had narrowed.
And that's a thing that I associate with like 1970s police dramas.
Yeah.
Like cars getting like streets of San Francisco seem to always like end with cars getting wedged in walls and alleyways.
That's a show with Michael Douglas, Chew.
But it's
You know, you meant it as a slight, but I appreciated it. So go fuck yourself. Okay? We know damn well I didn't know, but that was.
I feel like a stereotypical man now in enjoying that car chase so much as I know Mike did, because you're probably right. You don't need more than a 30-second car chase, but
Next time you
Men
watch a car
like stuff
chase,
like that.
time that motherfucker.
yeah.
Because it's not going to be like, oh, this is a quick little car chase. It's never a quick little car chase.
Yeah.
The car chase is the car chase of the movie,
Yeah.
if not one of two or three. And although I like the Fast and Furious movies, I would need you to rein it back a bit. Okay?
Oh, well, reining it back is not in that.
What
It's
would
too
be
late. I
wheelhouse?
understand it's too late. God damn it.
Would you really want less car action in a Fast and Furious movie? Then it's just...
You know what they need in the Fast and Furious movies? More sitting in a room and talking.
It would just be Vin Diesel saying the word family for
Yes,
20
over
minutes.
and over
so that would be
again.
the whole movie.
We've agreed, all right? We're all family. Can we rob something or save something now? That's great. Yeah, where are we?
I don't know.
It's really hard to know where I am in the film using this format. But I've the car chase.
So we had the car chase. Oh, and
Yeah.
then they steal her, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I love also that they don't know which one is the mannequin, so they take all the mannequins.
Yeah.
Well,
Also, G.W. Bailey, fucking great again. That's not the door. It's not the door. Oh, that's the door.
he also has
It is the door.
He also has a great line. Mr. Richards, have you noticed they all sort of look alike? It's great. That's the other thing I love about the supporting characters in this movie. Individually, they're all great. When they interact, it's even better.
It's great, yeah, exactly.
And the reverse is true of Mannequin too.
I would agree to that. Yeah.
Garbage disposal. Hold.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the scene in the movie.
That's what I thought. I was like, I don't think it's a garbage disposal.
What that is an industrial shredder.
Yeah.
I always remembered that shredder at the end, by the way.
Because it's terrifying.
It's so
It's straight out of a horror movie.
it really
Yeah.
is. Like it raises the stakes for this movie in a way that completely and totally sells the ending.
Yeah, I never thought that this was the worst thing that was going to happen to her. You know, I thought that that would be that, like, they wouldn't be able to be together would be, like, the thing
Mhm.
that they're fighting against. Not her being dismembered and pulp
Shredded.
in a scene from, like, License to Kill or Temple of Doom, you know? It's like... the movie really pulls that out of its ass the last few minutes.
Right.
And the fact that Roxy
Mm.
was the one that put her ass on the shredder belt, she's the villain. That's the ultimate villain. You have all this toxic masculinity, but no one's looking at Roxy. She's a bad bitch. And not like, oh, she's a bad bitch. No, fuck her.
Yeah.
You're a terrible person. Because you can't have, what's his face? Nobody can. Least of all a mannequin.
Right.
Bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
She's
sure
bad.
she realized it was a human, though. Or could become human.
And she didn't even get her comeuppance, which I'm even more pissed about.
I don't know. She was assaulted sexually at the end of that
She was
movie.
sexually assaulted by a janitor. And everyone looked away and let it happen. That's a pretty bad... I think
It's a terrible fate.
that's enough. What would you have, Roxy?
Throw her in the
Fired
shredder.
and homeless.
She would have
Bad
got
person.
fired. Oh, but she could hang out with that really great old school homeless guy who appears in the window for like 10
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy earned it.
I like that you pointed too. Fired and homeless.
Okay, maybe not homeless. That's fucked up. But fired for sure. And she needs an awakening, okay? You need to reset because you're a bad person.
Well, she did. She ended up in the perfume counter for the next movie.
That's right.
Yeah, right?
That's right.
Demotion.
Reincarnated as Gale, who is still a bitch. So
I bet there is some like fan fiction where someone has kind of like put it in their head canon that Roxy was reincarnated as Gale between the two movies.
And this is the moment, by the way, when the pink Cadillac first shows up. this to me shows that Gottlieb also, there's something in editing and like music choices in this movie. Whenever G.W. Bailey says, "We've got a mission, Rambo." By the way, Tom, 2 dogs, Rambo and Terminator.
2 franchises we have
2
done.
franchise in our recent history.
Well, not only that, but the like I don't often like it when I get to the punchline first, but I'll make an exception for we call him that because he draws first blood.
First
like I
blood.
said that before it even happened, but I was grateful for that.
And I also loved it when Rambo had an ice bag on his head.
Oh, there's so much like old school classic Hollywood
Yeah.
comedy in this movie, or classic Hollywood everything. It's kind of interesting to me.
Oh, but what I was going to say was whenever he says, "We got a mission, Rambo," and you hear that sort of army music playing in the background. And so when the Cadillac comes barreling, when the pink Cadillac comes barreling around the corner with the music, but it just stops after maybe a few seconds, and like everything comedically is working to me on such a high level in this movie.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Love it. Including the fast motion covering the car.
The fast motion is a grievance.
You've got two, Mike. You've got 2 co-hosts: one who can't stand slow motion and one who can't stand fast motion.
I know, I can't win. We just have to have a regular motion
All the time.
between the 2 of you.
Just
24 frames a second or nothing.
Oh, I liked one, Switcher goes into the office and what's that asshole's name? BJ?
Wert.
Wirt?
Yeah.
When he says, "I'm going to start you off at $55,000 a year." And he slams him up against the wall and he goes, "Okay, 60,000 a year." So fucking Reagan.
Yeah.
What a business dick.
Yep. Business, a lot of business.
And
deals.
but then I like the Keystone Cop shit.
Absolutely.
Security guards chasing Switcher around the fucking whole store.
It's a classic for a reason.
Right.
Just like the, elevator in the the face in the elevator door, and there was so much slapstick I started listing it. Hit in the nuts, bolt gun, stooge slap. We got a lot of good stuff here.
Are you talking when Roxy hits him up beside the head?
Yeah.
I love that slap. It's so funny.
And there's a spinning newspaper in the movie as well. It's
Yep.
it's so much old Hollywood in it.
Oh. Well, and then we're at the end. I mean, she turns into a real woman.
Mm-hmm.
I love G.W. Bailey. He keeps saying, "She's the dummy." Fucking great.
So we'll go. I'm sure we'll go back to this, but does Hollywood know?
Well, that's the thing is, Hollywood never seems to recognize, and then in the next movie, never acknowledges.
Yeah, but not until the end.
Or barely acknowledges. Yeah.
So I just convinced myself that he didn't know, and then he didn't. He tells us he knows everything.
I don't know. It's so strange to me. Real, wood, whatever. That's going to be the subtitle of my pitch. Real, wood, whatever.
I think this movie is trying to be accepting of all kinds of sexual lifestyles. I don't think it knows that there's a bit of a difference between being gay and having sex with an inanimate object. That may be where
Right.
That's probably where the limit is of this movie's
Yeah.
tolerance. It's like, gay, fucking a piece of wood, same thing.
all the same. I don't know. I mean, any notes either of you feel like you have to get off your chest? other than maybe G.W. Bailey screaming "Mama" as he's carried off by the cops. It's all good shit to me.
I think I was mostly, I'm going to say concerned, but I really wasn't that concerned with it. Is, she turns into a real person and everybody can see her and she's a human again. They get married. Is nobody going to ask about a social security number?
That's
Is
what I thought.
She's...
I thought, how did they get a marriage license? Where's her birth certificate? What's going on?
She doesn't exist until right this second, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know if department store window marriages are legally binding.
Or lasting.
Or less. Well, that's the other point.
They're clearly not lasting.
If it's
They're
the
not
same
in the next
department
movie.
store, why is no one talking about remember the
Yes.
wedding we had in this window a couple of years ago? That's why making it the same department store is a big problem.
Oh, also, Tom, wait, like all the way back to the beginning, this movie starts with a cartoon.
Yeah,
which we've been talking a lot about lately.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
And I thought that maybe City Slickers was the first movie to kind of really jumpstart all the movies we'd been talking about in the 90s that start with cartoons. But 1987, cartoon beginning.
The whole intro to this movie doesn't make any sense
Has nothing
for
to
the
do
rest
with anything.
of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
we
take it
don't
all
make
out.
reference to any part of that again.
No.
You literally could have just started with him being fired from all these jobs and it would have been fine. But the fact that you had the intro and her being an Egyptian, what?
But you see that they took
Isn't necessary.
I'm sorry, what?
they took that note for the next movie because the next movie it's all about the fact that she's
Yeah.
Right.
What's the word they use? Entranced peasant girl from medieval Germany. Like that plays
Yeah.
that's everything to the movie. The Egyptian part
That's
of this
true.
movie is nothing to the movie. So
Right.
obviously they kind of learned their lesson, but
They took a note.
but we suffered as a result.
Right. All right. Well, what's your drinking game?
Ooh, Tom, go first.
So
Don't take mine.
I might
I'm very excited about my drinking game.
I might take one of yours. So I started listing the slapstick moments because I thought that would be a good drinking game whenever you get a moment of old school slapstick. Because I counted about 5 or 6 of them,
Yeah, that's
which
good.
is usually where in the pocket of your drinking game frequency. But I ended up going with every. Would you? You can save it. Well, okay, I'll save it then.
No, you go.
No, it's okay. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Every time you see a wipe that can be done on iMovie,
That's amazing.
and I counted 8.
Wait, was it this one? No, it's the next one that has the heart wipe, right?
Right, but there's I only counted.
Heart wipe, and we're out.
I considered doing this for the other one, but it only has 3 wipes, and I think that's pretty low for a drinking game.
Do you know what we mean by wipes, Chu?
Is that like a scene change
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
a
Okay.
transition?
There we
There
go.
you go.
Exactly.
Well
I
done.
know some stuff. I didn't know
Well
that that's what it was called.
Done.
But specifically, like the ones that you can do on iMovie now.
Yeah.
Like you get the circle, you can do the wobbly screen, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So low quality. Yeah. Low budget.
Well, it's like something that must have been really hard if you were working with film in the 1980s.
Yeah.
But now you can literally do,
At home.
like a
Yeah,
mon-
now one
if
of
you're
those
a
is-
monkey, you could figure it out now.
Yeah.
Because now one of those is how Christy Swanson transitions from mannequin in
That's
quotes
right,
to
you
a
can
real
do that,
person.
totally do that on iMovie now.
Yeah.
You can Christy Swanson. It should be called the Christy Swanson mannequin swipe.
All right, Chu, do you want to go next?
Yes.
Of course you do.
I have 2, but I think they can be used for both movies, so I'll just stick with one.
Don't you do it.
Anytime Hollywood's glasses are different.
Oh, that's such a good one.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh.
Feel good about it. Was that yours? Better
No, it
fucking
wasn't.
Not have been. Okay, good.
You could franchise
That's a great
that.
one.
That's so good.
That's the
like,
winner.
That's like franchisable.
Thank you.
You could
Yeah.
put that on the DVD, Blu-ray.
Well
Drinking
played.
Game
Yeah, exactly.
Suggestion, official,
That should be listed on the
sanctioned
back.
by Gladden
Features.
Entertainment and Olive Films.
Features. Widescreen format. Behind the scenes. Drinking game. Drink every time Hollywood's glasses change. Copyright Lady Chu. 2022.
I have never been praised for so
That's
much
ridiculous, though.
for
That
a
is
drinking
like,
game choice.
That was obscenely good.
Yeah.
All right.
I was excited about mine because I love, between the two movies, I love how she transitions from mannequin into real person, and I love that it includes a sound effect as opposed to a visual effect. So mine was every time you hear that sound effect,
Oh, wow.
drink.
Did you count how many times that was?
I'd have to go back.
No, that's, yeah.
But it's a solid
good one.
one.
It's solid.
Because it's a 5 to 8,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
maybe even 8 to 10. Hammered. Oh. Tom, you have a credit check for this movie?
No, I didn't do one for this. I just did it for the... I don't know how to do a credit check on a non-sequel movie, so...
Understood.
All
right.
I'll do it on the next one.
Very good, then.
I didn't do my homework, okay? I thought that was part of...
You don't have to do your homework.
Well, I know,
here.
that's why
Wild
Yeah,
I
West.
felt
You do
comfortable
everyone.
saying that here. Because I've listened to the show. I know it's homework optional.
One time she didn't even finish a movie.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was the Richard Dreyfuss movie.
Let it
Oh.
ride.
Let it ride. Yeah, I couldn't finish it.
And Chu, am I right in thinking that you often don't see the credits because the streaming platform starts the next movie and you can't
Yeah.
stop
By
it?
the way, you can
That
stop
happens a
them
lot.
from doing that. You can just go up back to the credits and click on them, and you can watch the credits.
Okay, well, it happens for two reasons. One, yes, if it's streaming, then it just like kind of cuts to the whatever the next thing is. And two, and most importantly, I don't wanna.
It's a futile pursuit. I can't argue with that.
That's amazing. All right. Anything left for either of you?
No.
No.
All right.
I don't want. I leave on that high. I think.
Yeah.
Just questioning.
What
my
a
whole
smashing
existence.
success. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have something to add to the mannequin debate, by all means, let us know. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Send an email to everythingsequel@gmail.com or how dare you podcast@gmail.com.
This is great for you, Mike. You don't have to remember which one
I
you're
know.
doing.
Yeah.
You both know how many times I say the other one when I'm on with you. Tom, this is the woman I'm cheating on you with. Chu, this is the man I'm cheating on you with.
You're
We
desperately
have an
trying to
open
live
relationship. It's fine.
Yeah,
You're desperately trying to live a double life, but you can't keep your story straight.
I didn't plan it well, keeping it secret. I'll tell you that much. All right, that's it, everyone. For Lady Chu and Tom Stewart, Michael Shantz here.
Yeah, you get called both by both.
I get called both. My real name and my persona Chu name.
To be fair, you introduced yourself a lot as Shantz.
Only in restaurants.
Okay. Yeah, I concede to that.
You don't have a choice. That's what happens.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. I'm just letting everybody know
Yeah.
that I believe that you're right. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
For once.
let's put it to bed.
We're done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Mannequin, parentheses, 2, close parentheses, on the move, coming up next. Say goodbye, Lady Chu.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Tom.
Stop being so obtuse about the concept of fear. That's another Lady Chu quote. Unfortunately, I didn't write down the context.
Did
But I
say
think
that?
it stands alone.
I said that?
You said
Stop
that.
being so obtuse about the concept of fear.
I don't
Yeah.
even know what it was in relation to, but it's
Wow.
like, I feel like you could put that on a, like a shitty piece of furniture and like mount it on the wall. Lady Chu 2022.
Amazing.
I have no memory of saying that, but on its own, I'm like, oh wow, that could be something.
Right.
That's deep.
Who said that?
I think actually,
Me?
I think actually the context would hurt, would damage the power of that statement if we knew
Yes.
that
Then
it
let's
was
just leave it
probably
alone.
about
Yeah.
one of the Robin Hood movies.
All right, take care, everyone. All 3 of us will be back soon.
Are we stopping?
It's a full-on tree cutter. The guy is in the bucket, 60 feet up in the air. I'm thinking they're not going away anytime soon, so we can continue, but chance you'll have an interesting time editing. Okay, should I just talk louder? More obnoxiously?